I'm not surprised. I would have
Four, as Skylar Grossbeck, who led off game one, will lead off game two. Sarah Martin on the mound for the Saints as she pitches the first ball in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. The Saints, who improved to 14-0 on the year, still unbeaten with that win in game one. 0-1 the count here on Grossbeck, as that one is in there for a strike as well, and it's 0-2. Cougars dropped to 7-4. And their away record is now split 1-1, as that third pitch from Sarah Martin is just a bit outside, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Martin against Grossbeck, the pitch again, swing and a miss. And thought about taking first, but did not. That is out number 1. And off and running we are in game number 2. So glad to be with you here as the sun is starting to dip behind the west side here in Gresham. What has once a 68 and sunny perfect day, a little bit chillier here later in the evening as we are in the 5 o'clock hours. The first pitch to Emma Sullivan is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. We'll get to the rest of the Saints fielders in a moment, as that second pitch from Martin is just outside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Naturel Perez, Ava Carroll, and Hope Burke make up the outfield for the Saints, as that pitch is in there, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. One and two the pitch, swing and a foul back, so it remains 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sarah Martin against Emma Sullivan. The pitch once again is outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Sarah Martin looks, fires, swing and a miss, as the throw down to first is there, and that is out number 2. That'll bring up Violet Lottis. 2 up, 2 down for the Saints so far here in game number 2. Sarah Martin in the form. Wines delivers. Swing and a miss. 0-1. No balls, 1 strike the count here on Lottis. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Sarah Martin in the windup again. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One ball and 2 strikes. The count here on Violet Lottis. Sarah Martin the pitch. Dribbled. Sarah Martin's got it. Throw to first in time. 3 up, 3 down. They go 1, 2, 3 to start game 2. And the Saints will now have their first at-bats here in game number 2. Still scoreless.
So you can find it on
It looks like animation. Yep. Ava Carroll will lead things off for the Saints, as she also did in game number 1. Clackamas went 1, 2, 3 in that top of the first. First pitch to Ava Carroll is outside and it gets away, but nobody on base. 1 ball and no strikes. Number 33, Grace Athenas, is on the mound for the Cougars. And the 1-0 pitch is lifted out into center field, but the catch is made there by Kiera Motley for out number 1. Madison Walker, who had a home run in game number 1, takes her first pitch of game 2 upstairs. So it's 1 ball, no strikes. One 0 pitch now to Walker. Swing and a foul back. It's going to go out of play. And it's 1-1. Madison Walker, the 1-1 count. And the pitch. Dribble down the line, a fair ball into left field. Walker rounding first. She's heading for second. She makes it to second, and she's going to stay put. So a 1-out double here for Madison Walker. And now the Saints have a runner aboard in the bottom of the first. Peyton Foreman, batter number 3 for the Saints, as she takes that one for ball 1. That one just up as well. 2 balls and no strikes. So Madison Walker is on second with only 1 gone here in the bottom of the first. 2-0 to Peyton Foreman. Lifted out towards center field. Motley underneath. She's got it for out number 2. So here's Hope Burke. 2 away here in the bottom of the first as she swings and hits that one foul. It's 0-1. Hope Burke with an 0-1 count. The pitch. Right down the middle, it's 0-2. Actually, that one was a little high. Umpire there calls it a ball, and it's 1-1. Faith Hebert, Terry Davis are 2 umpires here tonight. As Burke takes that one inside. 2 balls and a strike. Two and one here on Burke. The pitch. Down the middle. And just high. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Madison Walker once again is on second with 2 outs here at the bottom of the first. The pitch to Burke. Swing and a miss, and the count goes full. Runner on second, 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Hope Burke with the count full. And the pitch. Swinging a ball into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third is Walker. She's going to come in to score. Burke is going to second, and she is not going to go any further. A 2-out double for Hope Burke brings in the first run of game 2, and the Saints, for the first time today, have struck first. Gina Allen will dribble one down the third base line, but it's foul, and it's 0-1. So Hope Burke and Madison Walker pretty much just changed places. As Walker was on second, the double from Burke drives her home, and now Burke stands on second with 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Next pitch on its way, and that one gets away, and Hope Burke will take third on the pass ball. And the count now 1-1 on Gina Allen. So now we have a meeting at the mound for the Cougars, led by head coach Jessica Boole. Saints led by their head coach Brittany Hendrickson. So the count 1-1 here on Gina Allen. Hope Burke is on third. Saints already have a 1-0 lead here in game number 2 in the bottom of the first. Next pitch on its way. Lifted out towards center, back at the wall, and it's gone! 2-run shot for Gina Allen. And the Saints now lead 3-0. Carrying over the momentum from the game 1 win. The Saints now have a 3-0 lead here in game 2 with a 2-run home run from Gina Allen. So here is Sarah Martin. Still with 2 outs. And that one just inside. 1 ball, no strikes. 1-0 the count here on Sarah Martin. Wind up in the pitch, outside, but called for a strike. It's 1-1. Sarah Martin with a 1-1 count. Dribbles that one to the pitcher. It's going to get away into center field. Sarah Martin to first. 2-out single. Now we got a little time here as the Cougars have a group meeting going over there at second base. Gina Allen with the first home run of game 2, giving the Saints an early 3-0 lead here in the bottom half of inning number 1. After the Cougars went 1, 2, 3 in the top. So now after the timeout, we will resume play here with the Saints up 3-0 here in the bottom of the first. First pitch on its way is down the middle for strike number 1. One ball, no strikes. The pitch inside. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. So 2-0 here. Next pitch on the way, outside, and it's 3 balls and no strikes. Two outs here in the bottom of the first. Saints lead at 3-0. The pitch. And that one is high. We got a 4-pitch walk. So now it's Naturel Perez with 2 outs and a runner on first. As she takes the first pitch up high, ball 1. Jasmine Lara was the fire batter. And now Perez will dribble that one into left field. Rounding second, staying there. And now going home is Sarah Martin. She will score. And the Saints have a 4-0 lead. So a 2-out RBI from Naturel Perez brings Sarah Martin in to score. And the Saints, who trailed 2-0 in game 1, won that game 9-4, now lead 4-0 in game 2. As we got a bunt. Throw is not going to be made, and now the bases are loaded. As it was Lizzie Brockmiller with the bunt. And now the bases are loaded for the Mount Hood Saints with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, leading 4-0. First pitch, dribbled to shortstop, play cannot be made. Ava Carroll with an RBI single. And the Saints now lead 5-0. Madison Walker again. 2 batters batting twice here in this first inning. Walker's first pitch is up high, and it's ball 1. So we got Perez on third, Brockmiller on second, and Carroll on first. Madison Walker, the pitch. Into center field, base hit. Rounding third, coming in to score. Throw home, not going to be made. RBI single once again. It's 6-0 Saints as Perez scores. Brock Miller thought about going home. She decides to stay at third. So now it's Brock Miller on third, Carroll on second, and Walker on first. And it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here for the Clackamas Cougars. So here in the bottom of the first inning, Saints lead at 6-0 here in game number 2. Pitching now for the Cougars, number 14, Mara Muniz. As that one is into right field and to the wall. Rounding third, coming in to score is Brock Miller and Carroll. And now here comes Walker. Walker is in safely. It's a 2-out double, another RBI. And it's Peyton Foreman to drive in 3. And the Saints now lead at 9-0. So now here's Hope Burke once again. Here's the first pitch to her, is down the middle for strike number 1. So Foreman is on second with Burke at the plate. Saints 9, Cougars nothing. Pitch on the way. Outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 to Burke. The pitch into left field and fair ball. Rounding third, coming in to score is Foreman. Burke will get to second, and the Saints open up the first with 10. They lead at 10-0. So here is Gina Allen. Her second at bat of this inning as she hits that one off the catcher's helmet. And it's 0-1. Two outs here. The Saints, who had 2 outs back when they only had 4 runs. 0-1 the count. On its way, back at the wall, and it's caught again! Gina Allen, the second home run of the afternoon here in game 2 for the Saints. Just in the first inning alone, it's 12-0. The Mount Hood Saints absolutely pouring it on early here in game 2. They lead Clackamas 12-0 here in the bottom half of the first, and we will have another pitching change for the Cougars. Number 33, Grace Athenas, taking over on the mound. As the Saints have scored a dozen here in the first inning. They took game one 9-4. They lead in game two 12-zip. Saints still perfect on the year, 14-0, already looking at that 15-0 record, trying to keep up with the tight race that always comes down here in the Southern Division with Southwest Oregon and these Clackamas Cougars as well. They always seem to play each other very well, but the Saints are making a statement here in the first game. Here is Sarah Martin. First pitch to her is lifted out of play over the first base dugout, and the count 0-1. No balls and a strike here. The count on Sarah Martin. Athenas with the windup, and that one up high, and it's a ball and a strike. One ball and one strike on Sarah Martin. Next pitch on the way is lifted out of play again, and it's 1-2. One ball, two strikes on Sarah Martin. The pitch down low and away, 2-2. Both these teams will be at home again tomorrow. The Saints will welcome in the Chemeketa Storm. Cougars will host the top seed in the division, the Southwest Oregon Lakers. Next pitch to Sarah Martin is up high, and it's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Sarah Martin, the 3-2. Out into right field. It is caught. Making the catch is Violet Lottis, as that will end the inning, but not before the Saints put up a dozen runs. And at the end of the first here in game number 2, it's the Saints 12, the Cougars nothing. I'm having a good time. I don't know about you, but I'm having fun. Wow. Cougars went 1-2-3 in the first, so it'll be batter number 4, Sophia Reyes, to lead off the top of the second, as she takes her first pitch in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. So 0-1 the count here on Rays. Sarah Martin in the windup. Sets fires, and that one is in there as well, but just outside for ball one, and it's 1-1. Sarah Martin again will wind it up and deliver. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Sophia Reyes once again against Sarah Martin. 1-2 the count, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck her out. And there's out number one to start the second. Annalisa Zamora. Takes the first pitch strike, 0-1. The freshman from Caldwell, Idaho. Takes the 0-1 just a bit out, and it's 1-1. One ball, one strike the count. Next pitch on his way from Sarah Martin, down low and away, and it's 2-1. Two balls, one strike the count here on Zamora. Sarah Martin once again with the windup. And that one is just a bit out as well. 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and one the count. The pitch, swing and a miss, and the count is full. Three balls and 2 strikes the count here on Zamora. Sarah Martin, the windup, the delivery, swing, and a ball lifted out towards center field, back towards us, and it is gone. Annalisa Zamora with a solo shot into center field. Breaks the ice for the Cougars. They're on the board in game 2. It's 12-1. Sarah Ellerton next for the Clackamas Cougars. The home run by Annalisa Zamora, bringing a little bit of life back to Clackamas, still trailing 12-1 here in our second and final game of the day. Check swing, she went, and it's no balls and a strike. No balls and a strike, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. Sarah Martin, the windup. 0-2 the count here on Ellerton. Right down the middle, but just a bit high, 1-2. One ball and two strikes here on Ellerton. The pitch, swing and a miss, struck her out, as that will be out number 2 here in the top of the second. And that'll bring up Allie Young. Allie Young against Sarah Martin. First pitch is down low, but in for a called strike. So it's 0-1. Next pitch from Sarah Martin, swing and a miss. It's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The count here on Allie Young. Down low, 1-2. Sarah Martin once again delivers on a 1-2. Swing and a miss. She struck her out. Down goes Young, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the second. The Cougars do get a solo shot from Annalisa Zamora as they get a run on the board, but still trailing 12-1 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 2.
Get up on the line. Move up on the line.
As we enter the bottom half of the second inning, Jasmine Lara will lead things off. To anyone that is currently watching that was a part of the Mount Hood Saints softball team last year, is our fantastic public address announcer Albert Hensley, also running the music, just played Stacy's Mom by Fountains of Wayne. So to any old softball players from Mount Hood that used to sing along to it last year, the dugout would always get all hyped up for that. But not as much this year. We didn't hear as much singing from the dugout just a few moments ago. 12-1 as we start the bottom of the second. The Saints, who had the first half of their lineup bat twice in that first inning, as now we have a conversation going on between the scorers and the base umpire, the home plate umpire. So a little delay, but momentarily we will have the first batter of the bottom of the second, with the Saints leading at 12-1 after taking a 9-4 victory in game number 1. Once again, both these teams will be playing at home tomorrow. Saints will welcome in the Chimacabana Storm. And the Clackamas Cougars will welcome in the top team in the division, the Southwest Oregon Lakers. After the win in game number 1, the Saints are 14-0, still perfect on the year for the Clackamas Cougars. They dropped to 7-4, 1-1 on the road. As the umpire's still having a conversation over there with the scores. We just heard something over the PA, so a lineup change, I believe, we are getting. As now that we can resume play. Here is Jasmine Lara. As she hits the first pitch, as that one is just a bit upstairs for ball 1. Lara, who had a triple in the first. The 1-0 outside, and it's 2-0. Camille Schmidt warming up in the Mount Hood dugout. 2-0 the count here is that one lifted out into left, back at the wall, and we'll see you later. A solo shot to start the bottom half of the second. The Saints picking right back up where they left off in the first. They lead 13-1 on the home run by Jasmine Lara. Naturel Perez, she had a single in the first inning. Trying to follow a home run from Lara as she hits that one out into left field, but not as far underneath, and the catch is going to be made there in left field. Catch is made there by Allie Young, and that'll be out number 1 here in the second. So that'll bring up Lizzie Brockmiller. One gone here in the bottom of the second. Saints 13-1 lead as she pops that one up into foul territory, but the catch is going to be made there for out number 2. So 2 down here for the Cougars as the catch is made there by Emma Sullivan. So after the home run from Jasmine Lara, the Saints go down 1-2 as that will bring up Ava Carroll back to the top of the lineup. First pitch now to Ava Carroll is outside and high for ball 1. One ball and no strikes here. The count on Carroll. Next pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Annalisa Zamora once again fires that one a little bit low. And it's 2-1. The pitch to Carroll. Zamora fires in there for a strike. 2-2. It's all 2s on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in inning 2. The pitch from Zamora. Lifted out into right center, and it's gone. Ava Carroll with another home run for the Mount Hood Saints. It is 14-1. So now that'll bring up Madison Walker. The Mount Hood Saints, who scored a dozen in the first, have added 2 more as Walker lifts that one up high into right field. Not very deep. The catch is going to be made, and that will end the inning, but not before we get a big bomb from Ava Carroll to extend the Mount Hood lead to 13, 14-1 at the end of 2. Natalie Simmons is leading off here for the Cougars here in the top of the third as she pulls away the bunt on the first pitch, but cannot do anything about that strike on the second, and the count is now 1-1. Saints scored 12 in the first. They have added 2 more here in the second, and now at the top of the third, they lead 14-1. Cougars trying to build a comeback here as that pitch is down low, but in there for a called strike, and it's 1-2. Sarah Martin on the mound again for the Saints. Pitch to Simmons is just up high and outside, and the count goes 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes here on Simmons. Next pitch from Martin is outside again, and the count goes full. Three-two pitch, down low and a walk to start things off here for the Cougars. Kira Motley, as the Cougars now have a base runner on first. With nobody out here in the top half of the third. Swing and a miss, 0-1. This wind has really picked up through the afternoon as the evening set's making it a little bit chilly as the bunt goes. As now the count goes to 0-2 here on Kira Motley. Sarah Martin once again the windup and the delivery outside. 2 balls and two balls, 2 strikes. Motley again. Swing and a dribbler down the line. Foul. So the count remains the same. Martin sets. And the pitch is fouled again. Once again, the pitch here, swing and a pull back, throw to first is not going to get there. So now count once again is 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Kira Motley. Sarah Martin, the 2-2. Lifted up and out of play. Approaching now the 10th pitch of this at-bat for Kira Motley. Simmons remains on first. Martin delivers. Down the line, Walker throws to second, and the play cannot be made. So now runners on first and second for the Cougars off the Mount Hood error. As that'll bring us back to the top of the lineup, Skylar Grossbeck. Runners on first and second with nobody out here in the top of the third. Grossbeck with the first pitch is dribbled foul behind the plate. So it'll be 0-1. No balls and a strike the count here on Grossbeck. Martin the pitch. Bunted it down the line. Throw to first in time. 1 down. It advances the runners to second and third. So puts 2 runners in possible scoring position here with only 1 out. As that brings up Emma Sullivan. First pitch to Sullivan is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Next pitch from Martin on its way. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch outside, and it's 1-2. Runners stay where they are. Almost got away. Simmons on third, Motley on second. 1-2 the count here. Swing and a miss. 2 down. A big strikeout there for Sarah Martin, as that'll bring up Violet Loftus with 2 on and 2 out in the third. The pitch from Martin down the line, throw to first in time, and the Saints get out of a jam as they leave 2 on second and third. As we go to the bottom half of the third inning, the Saints still up by 13. It's 14-1. Peyton Foreman will lead off the Saints here in the bottom half of the third as she dribbles that one back to the pitcher. The throw to first is there, and that is 1 up and 1 down here in the third for the Saints. Hope Burke is next. Her third at bat, as she takes that one low for ball 1. 2 for 2 so far. Annalisa Zamora is on the mound for the Cougars as she winds up, and Burke will deliver that one to the wall as she will round first. She is going to go to second, and she is there safely, and a 1-out double for Burke. Gina Allen, who had a home run in the last inning, looking to repeat herself. Her first pitch is just outside, 1-0 the count here. As Zamora sets and fires. As she dribbles that one to second, throw to first is there. It advances Burke to third, but there's 2 away already here in the bottom of the third. Sarah Martin here. 1 on, 2 out here, bottom 3. 14-1 lead. First pitch to her up high. Ball 1. 1-0 the count to Martin. Next pitch is on the way. It's outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Two 2-0 the count here to Sarah Martin. The pitch, as that one is in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Two balls and a strike. The count here to Sarah Martin. The windup, the pitch, lifted out of play. And now it's 2-2. Jasmine Lara is on deck if we indeed have a next batter. But there's 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third as Sarah Martin faces a 2-2. And that one is just inside, and the count is full. Annalisa Zamora the set. 3-2 to Martin, outside, and Martin will walk. Jasmine Lara had a home run back in inning number 2. And here with 2 outs. She'll have the first pitch down low, but in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Oh and 1 the count here. Next pitch on its way is down low, but in there for a strike, and it's 0-2 on Lara. Annalisa Zamora once again with the windup and the delivery, as that one lifted out into center. Diving and making the catch is Kara Motley. Motley gets the grab, ends the inning. We go to the 4th, but the Saints still hold on to a huge lead. After 4, it's Mount Hood 14 and Clackamas 1.
Over there or something. Or if they had another football, like
Swing and a miss to start the 4th as Sophia Reyes leads things off here for the Cougars, as the 0-1 is swung on and missed again, and it's 0-2. The sun's starting to set here in Gresham, providing a little nice shade in the outfield. The infield still has a little bit of sun, as so does a little bit of left field, as that one is just outside, and the count goes to 1-2. A game that started at 5:30 with the sun that sets at 7:30 now. It'll be later on in the day as we progress towards summer. That pitch just outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. But a nice break this weekend as we're going to get 70-degree and sunny weather. 2-2. Martin delivers. It's to shortstop. Throw to first. Right there for out number 1. Gina Allen with a strong throw to first to get Sophia Reyes out at first, as that will bring up the pitcher for the Cougars, Annalisa Zamora. If the Cougars can't get anything here, the 5th inning could be their last chance if they don't get to within 10. As the first pitch is down the middle for a called strike, and the count now here on Zamora is 0-1. Saints chasing 15-0. That one low, and it's 1-1. Sarah Martin with a 1-1 count. She sets and fires. That one up high, 2 balls and a strike. Annalisa Zamora, who had the only home run back in the 2nd inning, takes that one low, and the count now 3 balls and a strike. Saints lead at 14-1 through 3. This is top of 4. That one dribbled down the line, but it's foul, and the count goes full as Hope Burke will chase it down and throw it in. Sarah Martin with the full count. Sets and fires. Up high. 1-out walk here for Zamora. Sarah Ellerton awaits her turn as now the coach for Clackamas comes out to the home plate umpire, likely to make a change here. Sarah Ellerton with 1 out here in the top half of the 4th. With a runner on first, that's Zamora. Sarah Martin against Sarah Ellerton. Martin fires up high for ball 1. Sarah against Sarah. Round 1 went to Sarah Martin with a strikeout back in inning 2. Round number 2 here in the 4th, as that one is down low. 2 balls and no strikes. The count on Ellerton. Martin sets, fires. That one foul, 2-1. Sarah Martin, 2-1 the count. She fires. Down low, 3-1. Sarah Ellerton with a 3-1. The pitch, foul, and the count goes full. Three balls, 2 strikes with 1 away here in the top of the 4th. The Saints leading 14-1. The pitch from Martin. Swing and a dribbler. Martin picks it up. She throws to first in time for out number 2. So that'll bring up Allie Young. Sarah Martin's first pitch is outside for ball number 1. Zamora advances to second on the sacrifice from Ellerton. 1-0 the count here. And the pitch from Martin. Up high. 2-0 the count on Young. Allie Young struck out back in the second. She faces Sarah Martin once again here in the fourth. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Sarah Martin with the windup delivers. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Two and two the count here. The pitch is on the way. Outside. The count is full. Sarah Martin again. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Struck her. Nope, that's a foul ball. She did actually get a tiny piece of that as we saw the reaction from the umpire signaling foul ball. So it is 3-2 once again with 2 outs. Sarah Martin, the pitch. Dribbler, foul. Sarah Martin again, the 3-2. Swing and a dribbler. Madison Walker has it. Throw to first, and that will end the half inning as we go to the bottom half of the fourth. No runs there for the Cougars. It remains a 13-run lead for the Saints. It's 14-1 midway through 4. Naturel Perez will get things started here for the Saints in the bottom of the fourth, leading 14-1 per rules of the league. If Clackamas does not score at least 4 runs in the fifth, this game will be over. A little delay here before we can get started here with the bottom half of the fourth inning. Some discussion going on with the umpire and the coaches as one of the umpires has left the field. Not certain what is happening here. I think the umpire had to go get a drink of water. And now I believe we are good to go as Naturel Perez makes her way to the batter's box. Annalisa Zamora remains on the mound for the Cougars. Saints lead by 13 here in game 2. They won game 1 9-4. First pitch to Perez is lifted up high but out of play as it goes over the first base dugout for strike number 1. Oh and 1 here, the count on Perez. And the pitch. Low and inside, 1-1. One one to Perez. Foul back, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes on Naturel Perez. The pitch from Zamora is down low, and it's 2-2. Zamora with the set. 2-2 on Perez, down low, and the count goes full. The sun's starting to set behind the trees on the west. This game in the bottom of the 4th. The pitch to Perez, dribbled to third. Here's the throw over to first, and it's there for out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for the Cougars here in the bottom half of the 4th. So that'll bring up Lizzie Brockmiller, or Lily Bravo taking the place. She gets into the game late. As the pitch is to her, down the middle for strike number 1. No balls and a strike is the count here on Bravo. Next pitch on its way, lifted up and out of play over the first base dugout once again. We've had at least 10 to a dozen balls go outside the field, whether it's a home run or a foul ball. Bravo with the 0-2 count as Zamora sets. And the pitch. Lifted up, and that one going to get into foul territory, and it's going to be caught there for out number 2 as the catch is made behind first base by Emma Sullivan. So that'll bring us back to the top of the order for the Saints. Ava Carroll. Who homered back in inning number 2. That gave the Saints a 14-1 lead. 2 outs here, and that one is outside, but called for a strike, and it's 0-1. Oh and 1 here to Carroll. As she lifts that one up over the third base dugout and out of play again. 0-2 the count here. Zamora sets. And the pitch. Outside, 1-2. One ball, two strikes. The pitch again. Lifted out into right center. And she's done it again. Ava Carroll, the 2-out shot into left center. Or into right center, I should say. Extends the lead. It's 15-1. Madison Walker takes her first pitch down low. Ava Carroll, back-to-back home runs, as Sarah Martin did last year. Saints 15, Cougars 1. Saints looking for the 2-game sweep to open up conference play. 1-0 the count here on Madison Walker. The pitch from Zamora is up high, and it's 2-0. Madison Walker with a 2-0 count. Next pitch is lifted right to the shortstop. Could not make the catch. Walker around first. She'll stay there. And a 2-out single here for the Saints, who are up by 14. Peyton Foreman, as Zamora sets and fires. Up high, 1 ball, no strikes. One and 0 to Foreman. Lifted out towards left, backing up and making the catch for out number 3, as the catch is made there by Paige Almanza. As we go to the 5th, the Cougars need to get 5 runs or else this game will be over in a matter of 3 outs. At the end of 4, it's the Mount Hood Saints 15, the Clackamas Cougars 1. Natalie Simmons will lead it off here in the 5th as she swings and misses for strike number 1. Sarah Martin's night is done. Number 19, Julia Jordan, taking over on the mound for the Saints, who lead by 14 and are 3 outs away from winning this one in a short one. That one down the middle and in for a strike. It's 0-2. on Simmons. Kiara Motley, Grace Athenas on deck. As the 0-2 from Jordan is lifted out towards center field. Carroll's back. She's got it. And there's one gone. So that'll bring up Kiara Motley, who had a single back in the third inning. Saints 2 outs away from ending this one, as that one from Jordan is just outside for ball 1. Pending the result, the Saints would move to 15-0. And Clackamas would drop to 7-5, as that one is popped out of play once again over the third base dugout. About 20 balls have left the field today. I would say a dozen of them have been pop fouls and 8 of them have been home runs. 1-1 the count. The pitch lifted out towards right field. Back is Perez. Perez has got it. What a catch by Naturel Perez. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. Perez makes that catch on the warning track as it bobbles out of her glove, but she's able to retain it. And now Grace Athenas, the last leg of life for the Cougars. Jordan delivers, swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Owen won the count here as Jordan fires. That one is fouled back. It's 0-2, and now the Cougars are down to their last strike. Jordan in the set. The pitch to Athenas. Down the middle, and that'll do it. The Mount Hood Saints sweep the Clackamas Cougars as they take game 1 by a final of 9-4. They take game 2 by a final of 15-1. For the Mount Hood Saints, still unbeaten as they move to 15-0 on the year. They will welcome in the Chemeketa Storm tomorrow afternoon. First pitch set for noon, so won't you join us then? As for the Clackamas Cougars, they will fall to 7-5 and 1-2 on the road, and they will play host to the top team in the Southern Division, the Southwest Oregon Lakers, tomorrow. I believe that is also a noon first pitch. For my outstanding cameraman, Janice Wilson, do you have any final words about these 2 games you saw here today?
Nothing other than what you said. 2 great games.
Well, it was good to be back with you, as we will be back tomorrow for the Chemeketa Storm. So join us then. Once again, the Saints sweep the Cougars 9-4 in game 1, 15-1 in game 2. For my outstanding cameraman, Janice Wilson, Jackson Handel saying so long from Gresham. And the Saints get it done here at home.